Coming up on Evening Edition, we take a look at how Illinoisans are feeling going into the upcoming primary, plus how President Trump's proposed steel tariffs could affect business here, and what St. Louis police are doing about dangerous stunt driving. Live from Southern Illinois University, this is River Region Evening Edition. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jacob Gordon.
And I'm Zach Warhus. Tonight, this man is charged with burglary. Carbondale police arrested Dwayne Perrion after he allegedly broke into a home on South Rawlings last night. He was arrested after a short foot chase.
The 2018 primary election is just around the corner, with early voting already underway. But some Illinois residents aren't confident about where the state is heading. Evening Edition reporter Justin Broom is live in the studio to tell us more. Justin?
Thank you so much, Zach. That's right. We are exactly 2 weeks away from this year's primary election. And according to a poll done by the Paul Simon Public Policy Institute right here at SIU, about 84% of Illinoisans are not confident in the direction the state is heading. Respondents were also asked about other hot topic issue of this year's election, including tax reform and whether they supported the latest tax reform legislation that was passed in December by the U.S. Congress. 53% responded saying they oppose the plan, 34% supporting the plan, and 12% saying they didn't know or other. This led to 56% of respondents saying they would be less likely to vote for a Republican in November based on their views of that tax plan, while 33% said they would be more likely to. The poll also asked respondents if they favor or oppose the legalization of recreational marijuana if it is taxed and regulated like alcohol. 66% said they favored the idea, while 32% were opposed. For more information on this poll, you can go to paulsimoninstitute.siu.edu, and to make sure that you are registered to vote, find your polling place, and to see who is running in your area, go to elections.il.gov. For Evening Edition, I'm Justin Broom. Back to you.
All right, Justin, thanks. El Dorado firefighters are blaming a series of power strips for a house fire that displaced a family of 5. They responded to a fire around 1 o'clock this morning, finding flames in the living room. Everyone in the family escaped, but they have no fire insurance. If you wish to donate to the family, you can call the number at the bottom of your screen, 618-499-9054.
3 Chicago daycare workers face child endangerment charges for allegedly giving 2-year-olds gummy bears laced with melatonin.
Now, they admit to doing it, but they say they don't think it's a problem since melatonin is available over the counter. Suzanne Lehman-Yo has a story.
This is just a horrible case of bad judgment.
Des Plaines Police Chief William Kushner talks about the alleged actions of Jessica Hayes, Ashley Helfenbein, and Kristen Lauletta. All 3 work here at Kitty Junction Daycare Center. The owner and director of the center called police after finding a bottle of melatonin gummy bears in a classroom.
They had gotten information that one or more of their teachers was providing melatonin-laced gummy bears to the 2-year-olds in order to get them to facilitate their naps.
Police say they don't know how long the teachers had allegedly been giving the 2-year-olds in their care the gummies.
So a bottle containing 120 gummy bears, only 4 were left in the bottle?
That's correct.
Police contacted all of the parents with children here, among them Eddie Kulasic. His 2-year-old son attends the daycare, but told his dad he was never given gummy bears.
And when they called me, as soon as they said they're at the school, my heart dropped. I didn't know what to think. It's shocking.
All 3 women are due back in court on April 4th. A new solar array in Perry County might become the biggest in the state. It will power some 15,000 homes, and construction will start next year. 200 jobs will be created during the construction, which is expected to last until 2021, and will bring an estimated $100 million in investments to southwestern Illinois. You know, speaking of solar arrays, it was so beautifully sunny today.
It was nice to see the sun, but it was very windy. So how long is this going to last? Jordan Taylor has a first look at our weather. Jordan.
So we're taking a look at this tracking of the radar here. This is what radar is currently tracking. Some scattered thunderstorms off to our west were not expected to reach the ground in the next 48 to 72 hours. We are looking at this. This is sitting Close to the I-64 and I-57 corridor, I did just step outside here in Jackson County, and we're not seeing any rain here on the ground, but they are seeing those heavier rain showers in the southwestern and southeastern parts of Indiana, as well as in the Gulf and off to the East Coast. They're seeing heavier pockets of rain, and they're getting ready to get hit with another possible strong round of rain, so we'll be looking for that. Here's what we have tracked for the next 12 hours. We're sitting at 42 for 7 p.m. Clouds are also going to be the story, but the wind is going to drop us significantly to the freezing mark by 7 a.m. That's at 32 degrees, but it's going to feel a lot colder because conditions of wind are going to increase over 20 to 30 miles an hour, so we're expecting the wind to be pretty strong by this time you start your day. So here's what we have for my full forecast. It's still winter. We're certainly going to feel that in the temperatures coming up later on in the week. We have a wet weekend ahead for Saturday and Sunday, and I do have your 5-day forecast and more, plus the bus stop.
All right, President Trump surprised many people last week when he announced that he will impose a 25% tariff on steel imports.
But one Illinois company whose livelihood depends on metal say those tariffs would likely hurt their business. John David has the story.
The busier the better, we think.
Business is booming inside the East Moline plant. KVF Quad Corporation is running 2 shifts and filling new jobs. But tariffs on steel and aluminum imports would be bad for its bottom line.
We're going to lose a bunch of business, and it's probably not going to come back this way.
The 4-decade-old family-owned business works a lot with Deere & Company, plus a variety of different clients. Fears that tariffs will drive costs up and orders down.
It blows my mind that, this decision can be made overnight, and without the consideration of how many people it might affect.
KVF Quad Corporation, with 45 employees, is a local success story.
Those parts go through a washer, they get cleaned.
General Manager Eric Davis worries that in a global economy, tariffs will bite back against American firms.
You see your 25%, now we raise you 25% on that.
This thriving local business wants to preserve the status quo before mandates force a slump.
What is going to be the risk that's involved in this? Is the risk worth the reward in it? And if it's not, then it's obviously a bad decision to be made.
President Trump said Monday he might back off his proposed tariffs if Mexico and Canada are willing to renegotiate the NAFTA trade agreement.
Ahead on Evening Edition, the mayor of Nashville, Tennessee steps down.
Plus, North Korea may have a change of heart. You're watching Evening Edition at 5.
North Korea is reportedly ready to talk to the U.S. about giving up its nuclear weapons. South Korean officials say Kim Jong-un also told a high-level delegation he will halt nuclear and missile tests while in talks with South Korea. Many are startled by this statement when only months ago North Korea said it could wipe the United States off the face of the earth.
North Korea has to agree to not possess nuclear capability. And until that happens, we cannot have an agreement with them. And that is our position. And so we'll see what happens here. Maybe this is a breakthrough. I seriously doubt it. But like I said, hope springs eternal.
The 2 Korean leaders are expected to hold a summit next month, the first of its kind in more than a decade.
Well, my time today as your mayor concludes.
Be elected as mayor of Nashville, Tennessee is stepping down. Democrat Megan Barry announced her resignation today after pleading guilty to felony theft. According to court documents, Barry agreed to reimburse $11,000 to the city and served 3 years of probation. Barry was elected in 2015.
The road to the November midterms begins in Texas. Texan voters are casting ballots in a slate of closely watched primary races.
And the results could yield big clues for the rest of the country and the balance of power on Capitol Hill after November. Karen Kafa rounds up the big political trends playing out today.
It's a primary day maybe only Texas could handle. For the first time in 25 years, Democrats are running in all 36 congressional races. One district has 18 Republican candidates in the field for an open congressional seat. There's even a battle over the Alamo. Yes, the Alamo. Challengers to Texas Land Commissioner George P. Bush, son of Jeb, accuse Bush of mismanaging redevelopment of the historic site. But more than legacies and personalities, the Texas primaries bring the first real test of Democratic mobilization in 2018. The first battles between the Democratic establishment and the progressives tugging further left. And the first look at President Trump's potential impact on the November midterms. When it comes to the idea of the deep red state starting a blue wave, some Texas Republicans say not so fast.
Texas is not about to turn blue, much less turn purple. Clearly, we know that the Democrats have been energized. The real election comes in November.
Jeb Henserling's retirement created one of 8 open congressional seats in the state. The wide open fields will offer lots of clues about turnout, energy, and sentiment in suburban areas like around Dallas and Houston. At the statewide level, Texas Democrats have been shut out since 1994. Primaries won't change that, but the performance of Democrat Beto O'Rourke might yield hints about his challenge to incumbent Ted Cruz. Pretty much a must-hold seat if Republicans want to hold the U.S. Senate. But these are just primaries, and there's a long way to go between March 6th and November 6th. In Washington, I'm Karen Caifa.
The U.S. Senate is one step closer to passing a bill that would roll back some bank regulations. The Senate agreed to begin debate on major banking reform legislation by a vote of 67 to 32. Smaller banks say the rules are hurting them, and some Democrats support easing measures. But some strongly oppose easing regulations for the banks that could view it to lead to a financial crisis similar to the one in 2008. The 9-day strike for teachers in West Virginia has come to an end. Many rejoiced in the state's capital as the bill passed that would provide educators with a 5% pay raise. Teachers' salaries in the state ranked at the 48th lowest in the nation. School is expected to be back in session tomorrow.
St. Louis police are trying to control stunt motorcycle riders after a recent incident that went viral. In this Instagram video, the rider pops a wheelie and pulls right up next to a St. Louis police officer. The officer puts his hand out of the window and the rider puts his foot out, and they appear to give each other a fist bump. And then the rider, well, he takes off. Police say they witness a stunt rider, they will ticket them.
This is an enforcement issue, right? Just like most speeding. If you do some enforcement, you can change people's habits.
The police say they increase patrols, but stunt riders are often difficult to catch.
The Webster Dictionary publisher has announced some new additions. A few words like dumpster fire, bandwidth, and unicorn got some updated definitions. 2 fun words that you might have heard of before is cryptocurrency and mansplain were also added. But the 2 most interesting words, Zach, ready? And O.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's been sunny these last couple of days, but is it going to stick around? Jordan Taylor will have our full forecast next.
And stocks into the day with positive results. Stay tuned for the nightly business report coming up at 5:30 right here on WSIU.
But look at our 5-day forecast. I think the pick of the day might be maybe Thursday, maybe Friday if you like some clouds, but 54. But as you can see, it can't be Sunday this week just because we're expecting possible chance for some rain.
Yeah. We are still in winter. I cannot wait for spring and summer, though.
Can't wait.
You and me both.
Thank you so much, Jordan. Let's head over to Patrick Cota with a preview of what's coming up in sports.
Well, coming up, the Saluki baseball team gets set to take on a regional rival. And one Saluki senior made a big name for herself. Stay tuned. The 2018 NFL Combine recently wrapped up with scouts marveling over stats like 40-yard dash times. Every year, NFL Network's Rich Eisen runs the 40-yard dash in a full suit for charity. This year, his time was just under 6 seconds. So, that got the sports gang to think, what would my time be? 3, 2, 1. And of course, here I am, running the 40-yard dash, huffing and puffing through the wind, windy day out, the hair's flowing, the suit is flying. For NFL times, the estimated 40 time is, my estimated 40 time, I said, was 7.5 seconds, but in the NFL, the fastest is 4.22 set by John Ross in 2017, and the slowest was set by Isaiah Thompson with 6 seconds, with 6.60 seconds in 2011. So I was close. I was close.
Really, really close.
All right, good job, Pat. All right, thanks. Coming up next, Jordan Taylor has to look at your 5-day forecast.
And an age-old debate will finally be solved on National Oreo Cookie Day.
Not that they really need one, but the Oreo cookie fans have an extra reason to indulge today. Oreo cookies were invented in New York in 1912. Since then, more than 500 billion Oreos have been sold, making it the best-selling cookie in the United States.
So we are going to settle this once and for all. We've got Oreos here on the desk.
Yeah.
As you can see, we've got those classic Oreos. There you go. Take a shot.
And I can take it from here, Jordan. The
Okay.
the correct way to eat an Oreo is you take it, you twist it apart like so, and then you eat it piece by piece.
So, gentlemen, as we take one,
Okay.
cheers, cheers, cheers.
Hey.
So,
Cheers,
Oreo
cheers,
Dake, one of the
cheers,
most classic cookies. Agoo. Now, while I'm going to eat, let's talk about the radar. If we pull the radar up so you don't see me chewing, here's the current track of the radar. We are checking a possible chance for some showers moving in the next 48 to 72 hours. We don't see that hitting the ground right now here in Jackson County. As you can see, most of the rain has since moved off into portions of Indiana. So taking a look at the 5-day forecast, our next chance, I'm going to try to chew this and not chew in y'all's ear. As you see, Thursday brings back possible chance for some sun. We're still looking at lower 40s. Friday, I think, is our pick of the week at 54. I know most students are traveling home or traveling wherever their vacation spot for spring break, so they're going to get here and get out of Southern Illinois because you can see the weekend brings some more rain.
All right.
So y'all
Thanks.
finish it. I'm going to eat.
Thanks, Jordan. Thank you for joining us tonight.